going through the script, and there's this one question. I have questions about all the characters. Don't get me wrong, and I will not go through every single thing, because then I'll be giving away the play, and I'm not going to be doing that. My question is, why do men cheat though? Let's be real. When I look at this TC person, I see somebody that is not ready to grow up. It doesn't want to fall in love too deep. I'm so tired of running across guys like this myself, always trying to be hard, trying to act all hard like he don't have no feelings, can't get too close, so let me cheat so I can create that emotional distance and not fully give myself. If you're not going to really give yourself to a person, why are you wasting their time? Who are you to waste somebody else's time? It's just a question. If you don't want to be with somebody, you're going to let them go that far to plan a wedding and do all of that kind of stuff? Because I almost had that happen to me. And then people want to bail out at the last minute, or go back to their exes, or start talking to them. And they may not even really like that other person, but they'll do that to create emotional distance so they won't fall too deep. Insecurities, low self-esteem. Because any noble person, when somebody is noble, they walk away from it all. They don't try to go off and marry you or call themselves going to live with you or do all of that other kind of stuff. They don't even go through the motions. But some people, and I don't want to seem like I'm attacking men because women cheat too, but some people will, they'll keep you as a security blanket while they go test the waters with other folks. And that's wrong too, because if you're already in a committed relationship, what you testing for? What are you trying to see? You have Peter Pan syndrome. You don't want to grow up. You want to have sex with a whole bunch of people. You never want to settle down. You never want to make a real decision. You don't want to be tied down. It's just a bunch of mess. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you ever researched the reasons as to why men cheat, but I've come across this article in Psychology Today, right? And I'm going to read off the 13 reasons. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, as well as the link to the Facebook page of Just Be a Man About It. Here we go. It's called 13 Reasons Why Men Cheat, right? And then he says, hey guys, cheating is not the only option. So here we go. Okay. It says, after almost 3 decades of working with couples decimated by infidelity, I can tell you that men who cheat on a beloved wife or girlfriend can be amazingly creative when they try to explain why. Sometimes cheating men tell me and the women they love that their behavior doesn't really count as cheating because it didn't involve actual sex. Other times they find ways to blame others for their choices, their spouse, their boss, even the other woman. Okay, as a therapist, I find most of the reasons that cheating men use to justify their infidelity fascinating, because almost all of these reasons imply that cheating was the only logical solution to their relationship issues and other life problems. I often find myself thinking, sure, cheating is an option, but only one among many. How about taking up a hobby or volunteering to make the world a better place, or actually talking to your significant other about what you're feeling and how the two of you might be able to craft a more fulfilling relationship? Would any of those choices be better than lying, manipulating, and keeping important secrets from a woman you truly care about? But most men don't have that type of insight, so when confronted, they minimize, rationalize, and justify their behavior with statements like, every guy wants to have sex with other women, and when the opportunity arises, he takes it. It's a man's biological imperative to have sex with as many women as he can. Why should I be any different? If I got enough or better sex at home, I wouldn't need to cheat. I'm not doing anything that most of my buddies don't do. If you don't believe me, ask them. If my wife hadn't gained so much weight, or if she was nicer to me or more attentive, I wouldn't have even thought about going elsewhere. If my job wasn't so stressful, I wouldn't need the release I get from online sex. Cheating? Really? I mean, who would rationally call getting a lap dance in a strip club infidelity? It's just what guys do for fun. My dad looked at magazines and went to strip clubs, and that wasn't a big deal. Well, I have webcam chats and interactive sex. What's the difference? If the police had been out chasing actual bad guys, I wouldn't have gotten caught in that prostitution sting. Why don't they go after some real criminals? I'm only sexting and flirting. Where's the harm in that? I don't meet up with any of these women in person. It's just a game. In the therapy business, we have a name for this type of reasoning: denial. From a psychotherapy perspective, denial is a series of internal lies and deceits people tell themselves to make their questionable behavior seem okay, or at least in their own mind. Typically, each self-deception is supported by one or more rationalizations, with each one bolstered by still more falsehoods. In the eyes of an impartial observer, such as a therapist, a cheating man's denial typically looks about as solid as a house of cards in a stiff breeze, yet these men will doggedly insist their rationale is sound. This, of course, begs the question, why? Why do men really cheat, and why do they sometimes continue cheating after they're caught, even in the face of profoundly unwanted consequences like divorce, loss of parental contact, loss of social standing, and the like? The truth is that all sorts of dynamics can play into a man's decision to engage in infidelity. Generally, though, his choice to cheat is driven by one or more of the following factors: immaturity. He does not have a lot of experience in committed relationships, or if he doesn't fully understand that his actions will inevitably have consequences like hurting his partner, he may think it's fine to have sexual adventures. He might think of his commitment to monogamy as a jacket that he can put on and take off as he pleases, depending on the circumstances. Co-occurring issues. He may have an ongoing problem with alcohol and/or drugs that affects his decision-making, resulting in regrettable sexual decisions. Or maybe he has a problem like sexual addiction, meaning he compulsively engages in sexual fantasies and behaviors as a way to numb out and avoid life. Sidestep the article for a second. I ran across so many people like this until it's a shame. Women too. Number 3, insecurity. He may feel as if he is too old or too young, not handsome enough, not rich enough, not smart enough. An astonishing amount of male cheating is linked, or at least in part, to a midlife crisis. To bolster his flagging ego, he seeks validation from women other than his mate, using his extracurricular spark of interest to feel wanted, desired, and worthy. Number 4, it's over. Version 1. He may want to end his current relationship. However, instead of just telling his partner that he's unhappy and wants to break things off, he cheats and then forces her to do the dirty work. I hate to say this, but it kind of feels like the character from Just Be a Man About It. When y'all come out to the show, you decide. Number 5, it's over. Version 2. He may want to end his current relationship, but not until he's got another one lined up. So he sets the stage for his next relationship while still in his first one. Ooh. That soft cushion to land on. And tell me, when people do this, y'all, they always pay for it. And so does the new person they're with. You cannot start off a new relationship on you're trying to build a house on sand. Okay? You start in a relationship out like the foundation is already messed up. Number 6, lack of male social support. He may have undervalued his need for supportive friendships with other men, expecting his social and emotional needs to be met entirely by his significant other, and when she inevitably fails in that duty, he seeks fulfillment elsewhere. Number 7, confusion about limerence versus commitment. He might understand the difference between romantic intensity and long-term love, mistaking the neurochemical rush of early romance, technically referred to as limerence, for love, and failing to understand that in healthy long-term relationships, limerence is replaced over time with less intense but ultimately more meaningful forms of connection. Number 8, childhood abuse. I'm just going to read through these. I don't want to read everything because I'm going to end this video soon. Number 9, selfishness. Let me read through number 9 real quick. It's possible that his primary consideration is for himself and himself alone. He can therefore lie and keep secrets without remorse or regret as long as it gets him what he wants. It's possible he never intended to be monogamous. Rather than seeing his vow of monogamy as a sacrifice made to and for his relationship, he views it as something to be avoided and worked around. Number 10, terminal uniqueness. He may feel like he's different and deserves something special that other men might not. The usual rules just don't apply to him, so he is free to reward himself outside his primary relationships whenever he wants. That's selfishness still. Number 11, unfettered impulse. He may not ever thought about cheating until the opportunity suddenly presented itself. Then, without even thinking about it, what infidelity might do to his relationship, he went for it. Unrealistic expectations. I've heard about that. Number 13, anger and revenge. He may cheat to get revenge. He is angry with his mate and he wants to hurt her. In such cases, the infidelity is meant to be seen and known. The man does not bother to lie or keep secrets about his cheating because he wants his partner to know about it. It says for most men, no single factor drives the decision to cheat, and sometimes a man's reasons for infidelity evolve as his life circumstances change. Regardless of his true reasons for cheating, he didn't have to do it. There are always other options. Couples therapy, golf, being honest and open with a mate, and working to improve their relationship or separation or divorce. A man always has choices that don't involve degrading and potentially ruining his integrity and the life he and his significant other have created. Still knowing why he cheated can be helpful in terms of not repeating the behavior in the future. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening.